Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Mixed Mowers and Mower Man. In this video we're going to be doing a little walk behind strimmer. I think it was a DR one, but it has since been painted. But it's all there, it's all complete, but it will not start, will not run, will not fire, will not do anything at all. I got it as part of a job lot, I think off my mate Taff. He said it all used to run. I've heard that before. So look outside, see what we can't do with that, try and get just to do something. If it can't, come into a workshop, have a look at it, see if we can't get it to run. And if it does run and get it all running as it should do, then it should sell quite well, because the old commercial guys, they love them for like strimming around graveyards and bits and pieces like that. So you haven't got to lift it, so you just have to push it, so that's quite good. If this is the first time you're watching Mixed Mowers and Mower Man, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set your notifications to all, it's free to do so, and that way you'll be told next time I upload another video. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty, and let's check out this nice little walk behind strimmer that used to run, but it don't no more. Right, and here it be, little Quantum 6.5 or 6.25 horse on top, priming one. There is fuel in the system. It's been here for about 2 months, but everything just looks absolutely caked in stuff. So we'll give it a prime. I don't know if that's priming or not. I might be doing it just for nothing. We shall see. Onto a rabbit, which it is. The throttle's a bit sticky, but it does work to a fashion. Pull that in, bail bar, release to stop the cord spinning. I'm not seeing no other form of dead man on here, so it must just be that. There's no switch on it, nothing extra. Nope, right, let's go for a pull, see what happens. Let's try it without the bailing. Nothing. So that's where we are. Right, here it be. It's a nice little machine, to be fair. It's all complete. It's just absolutely full of stuff. Now, if I get it to run, I might literally do a bit of a clean up on it. And it's been sprayed up or amorited. But what I might do, I might give it a bit of a clean up, so it looks a bit more with it. So, quick little spray down. Just try and loosen some of this grime up that's on here. Where we can. It is absolutely just smothered in stuff, but that's what it's been used for, I suppose. So the first thing I want to do is check for spark. I don't know if we've got spark or not. We'll take that plug out. We're going to check the oil. I might put some gloves on for this. This is a bit mank. Let's get a pair of gloves. I want to check for spark. See if we've got one of them. I'll take this top off here as well, just to expose the top of the carburetor, because the dead switch might be up there. That might just be all gummed up, you see. So before we get too deep into it, I want to make sure that we've got all the right ingredients to at least get a spark onto this engine. So I'm going to remove that top cover out the way, which is that one. There's one down here as well somewhere. Yeah, there is. And we'll remove that one there as well. I don't know a lot about this machine, but I have heard that story about it all ran before. It ran fine last year, mate. Yeah, I know that, but it ain't running now. So removing the 2 bolts, the flatheads, all their 8mm, I believe. We're going to take them out. Now, funny enough, I think that Taffy bought this machine off of a fella that I buy machines off as well. I think that's come from the same bloke. Seem to remember seeing this machine before somewhere. Right, up here, absolutely covered in stuff. So, quick little blow off, and I believe that's where the marker switch is too, up here. So I'll give it a quick little blow off with the old air compressor, just so I can physically see what's going on. I've got to move my old camera a touch, get my air lead out, because it's a bit caught up. It's not very warm in our shirt though, people. It's quite cold. Right, so I'll blow off here. just so we can see what's going on. That's all we're doing there. Right, now underneath here, I'm seeing a little tiny micro switch. So that's off, that's on. So that switch should be open. There's the switch just down in here. Do you want to see it? I'll show you it. Let me show you. So on here, you've got a little tiny micro switches just down in there, a little tiny hole. See that little tiny hole? So when you're on full throttle now, that's running flat out. When you bring this over, as it covers it, that will stop your engine just there as it gets to that point. So that's your cut-off point just there, okay? Right. So I think the first thing to do, that plug looks pretty good to be fair. It don't look very old. I'll take the plug out, see what's going on with that, because the plug just might be fouled. We shall see. Let's take that off. Check condition of plug. Plug is really dry, been running absolutely beautiful. Absolutely lush. Just what you want to see. That all looks good in there. Let me see if we've got a spark coming off this machine. Is there a gap on that? Yeah, there's a gap yet. Right, onto full throttle. Let's just try and pull that over so what we get. Yeah, we've got a little tiny spark, but it's not a very good spark, I must admit. So I'm going to take that plug out. I've seen better sparks. Take that plug out, I'm going to put a brand new plug in. See if I can't improve that a little tiny bit. Let's grab a brand spanker. Oh, let's try that. See if that improves it any. Yeah, that's better. Right, so we've got a spark. So that we do know. So now, I'm going to get some carby spray. I'll put that down the head. Nearly out of carby spray, people. Put that down the head. We're going to whip that up, give it a pull, and see if that makes any difference. You just get the machine to fire. Maybe a terminal engine. You know, it might have been done a lot of work. It's been commercially used. All right, a bit of spray in there. Will it go bang or won't it? Boom, it does. So we're happy there. We got a little bit of life out of it, but don't want to start off its own back. So that's telling me to head towards the fuel system of it. Now we've got the spark, we've heard it fire, it's the most it's ever done. There is fuel in the tank. So I want to check the oil and condition. I've got a little bit of oil in there, not a great deal. Not a great deal, but it's just below the minimum mark. Next thing to do is to remove the air filter cover and check to see if the system's actually priming or not. Right, got you guys in just a little bit closer, just so you've got a bit of a better view rather than being 35 miles away. I want a little tiny flathead driver. I'll remove this air filter cover just here. Now, I'm hoping it's going to prime, because we all know what these little tiny priming systems are like on these Quantums. 9 times out of 10, they're not priming. So you ain't getting no fuel up through initially, it's never going to start. Oh my lord. Oh, that all comes out. Okay, get rid of that. That can go up there for a minute. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull this little tiny vent back just a touch. I'm going to grab my torch. And now I'm just going to put my torch into here and just prime this. It is ever so slightly priming. It does want to do it. Let me show you, just so you can see it. Otherwise you're going to say, oh, you didn't show me what priming. Right, just in here. Let me just zoom it in a touch. All right, hopefully you can now see. See that little tiny little brass pin that's sitting up inside the carburettor there? If I now prime that, you'll see, you can just about see it. It's just doing it, but it's going to want about 15 primes. All right, but it will do it. Okay, so it is priming. The problem is, if I take that off, there's a very, very high possibility it won't prime when I put it back together. But we shall see. Right, now so many other people, they do what I'm about to do, okay, and that is not to remove that backing plate. What I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the bowl from underneath here with a 1/2 inch, okay. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I really, really don't want to upset that backing plate unless I really have to. Now, anyone that works on small engines is sort of saying, yeah, Mick, you're making the right call there, brother, because they all know that them little tiny backing plates, they warp. And you can double gasket them. You can put washers on them. You can do anything you like. I'm telling you, if you do that, sometimes they don't prime. So I'm now just going to go underneath here. I'm just going to crack off that little tiny. Is that 1/2 inch in there? What is that? Yeah, it should be 1/2 inch. I've got 9/16 there. That's why that don't fit. That one 1/2 inch. I'm just going to crack off that little tiny bowl here. If I can get to go on there about it. There it goes. Right, that's moving. Right, so I've got that just moving. I'm going to grab myself a set of fuel clamps as well. What we've got in there, Quantum. So I'm going to use a set of mole grips instead. Just so I stop that fuel from coming down. That definitely stops happening, you see. And then I can then get in and attack this bowl nut. Now the reason I'm doing so is because there'll be a jet in here and an emulsion tube and bits and pieces that I want to remove to clean. It could just be a fuel restriction. We're going to lose a little tiny bit of fuel, not a great deal. So gently undo that little tiny jet. There it comes. Let's have a look inside. All right, okay. So we've got a bit of gunk inside that carby. See that? Let me just give it a bit of fuel. Bit of gunk in there, bit of residue, so that's okay. But this is the bit that I'm concerned about. I'm going to spray some cleaner up inside here to make sure we're getting the correct amount of flow and what have you coming out. But that's the one I'm interested in, and I shall show you the reason why. Okay, so I've got to clean the bowl up yet. That's no drama, but this is a bit I'm interested in. This little tiny, there's a jet in here, okay, little tiny jet. It looks to be quite new, to be fair. But what I do is I get these little tiny little drill bits, okay? They're called thumb drills. And I'll do it without no gloves on, just so I can fit it. Now, you have to go careful, because if you do go in too hard, it'll snap. Then you're after a new jet, okay? So what I do, I've got my orange one, that's one that fits it. And all I'm going to do is just literally, very gently, just screw that in. Just so it bites. You'll feel it bits. So that's bitten, yeah? So just go a little bit, come off a little bit. And all you're going to do, you're going to open that up. Just so you get to go all the way down. Okay? Now, if you're in resistance, back it off. Because that'll snap. I guarantee you that'll snap, okay? And then you can get straight in there and clean that up. There, that's going. Keep going. There it goes. Well, it's gone, okay? This is live, people. So it hasn't snapped. It's in there. It's still there. It's all still there. I'm just literally... I felt that go then. It's going. Got to do it gently, people. Right, so that's gone in now, okay? I'll back it out. Give it a couple more turns outwards and go back in again. And what you're after is it just eventually to spin on its own. Okay, now all I'm doing is just literally just reopening up that jet. There you go, she's gone now. Yeah, she's gone in lovely. Right, so with that now opened up, I can now get me a GT85 pocket rocket, whatever it is you choose. I generally use pocket rocket on these. Grab a bit of pocket rocket. Bit of pocket rocket, here we come. You can get the old thumb drills and Amazonian and what have you. So now, when we now spray this through, let's get a bit of substance going. There you go. That sits in there. Look at that. Now she's running. That's what you're after. Okay, so that's how I drill out the jets. Make sure you get the right size one. They come in little tiny packs. I can't tell you what size it is. I can't see what size it is. Right, it is written on there somewhere, but my peepers aren't as good as that. So that's all I do. Just drill through very, very gently, very, very slightly, just until it takes. And you then know that you've actually drilled that jet. You've just taken a little tiny, tiny, tiny amount off out of that main jet. And that should help you give you a much better fuel delivery. Right, with that done, I'm now going to get my pocket racket. I'm going to change my straw to my bent straw, which is a little trick I learnt off of my mate Brucey. He got a little straw like that, see? Now, if you're not sure how to do it, all you do is you get your matte gas, your blowtorch, right, or your light. You can get a lighter and do this, right? That's not quite bent up as far as I would like it to be. Get your lighter, right, and just heat up that bit there, and just tease it up. Not too mad. And then hold it, let that go cold. And look, you've got a right angle straw, see? Now, you can put that onto your pocket racket or your cleaner, whatever you want to do. And now you can shove that into all up here. It's a bit limited. But you can get right up in there and you can see what you're doing. Here you go. I know my head's in the way. I know that. But that's one way of cleaning out that system there, okay? With that done, I'm going to give the old bowl a quick little clean and I'll come back once I've done that. Right, my old bowl has had a bit of a clean up. Now, this all might be for nothing, okay? I'm not even joking you, but you might be going through all this process to take the carbon back and plate off. But it's always worth a little tiny 10-minute risk just to try and get it to work, okay? Next one I want to do, put that up there. I want to release the fuel. Are we getting flow? Yes, we are flow. And are we also going to get no flow and I shut that off? Yes, we are. Okay, so I just tested the fuel system. So the fuel system is definitely working, okay? We are getting fuel down, so that's a good thing. Clean hands. So now I want to put the bowl on. And then I want to put the jet back in as well, okay? So make sure your jet's kept somewhere relatively clean, which is nowhere near my machine. We're going to slide this up so it sits into place. It's going to be about there. Hold that one finger, get your jet, and put that up in all. It's a bit fiddly because you're working upside down, back to front, and blind. But you'll feel it when it starts to bite, and you'll know roughly where you are. He says as he struggles to locate it. It's got to be about right somewhere there, I'd say. There it goes. All right. So just make sure the bowl's on as it should be. There. And we're going to do that up. Nice and tight, but don't have to hang on it. There. So now, with that done, we can now release the fuel system again. Bomb. Take that off. Let that fuel just run down for a second to its normal place. Checking for fuel leaks as you go. And once you've got to enough fuel down there, let's just check fuel level. We have plenty of fuel. Plenty of fuel. I'm now going to prime. Yeah, it's priming. It's not doing what it should be doing though. There's a bit of prime there, but it's not priming as well as it should do. That's a certainty. I'll say it's improved it a little bit, but not a lot. So I'm just going to run through these ports. Just to see if that doesn't help it. And then I'm going to get my pocket rocket and I'm then going to go through that emulsion tube, but the other way with my little tiny bendy straw. So I'm going to put that inside the emulsion tube. Try and get hold of it. I've got a plethora of these little tiny straws, all different widths and different angles, but What I'm hoping for is just literally just to plop it straight on top. I'm not going to get another straw, 2 ticks. Right, so now I've got my little tiny bendy one, like that. And now you can now go straight all the way in, straight on top of the emulsion tube there. And blow that straight in, down through. It might be blocked. Give it a bit of a clean. As I say, it might all be for nothing, but sometimes it do work. It is priming. It is. Right, let's try and get it to fire. It weren't doing a lot beforehand, but it is now. Is that priming? Or am I just seeing things? Oh, it is. It definitely is. Right. Full revs. We've got a little bit of action going on. That might be what was already in there. Let my door up a touch. It's trying, but I don't think it's trying enough. Carb has to be cleaned, I reckon. Nah, it's not going to have it, so wasting my time and yours. So next thing we'll do will be to remove this carburetor off, which is something I was hoping to get away with not doing, okay, but it is what it is. 8mm on it, yeah. But it's just a little trick that I used to use. It does work, but not always. So now I'm going to have to remove and be forced to remove the air filter backing plate. It may have no gasket behind there, not sealing. But this is 99% of the times, this is a problem with these machines. But to be fair, the condition of the engine, it warrants taking it off anyway, just to clean it, but there you go. Right, there you go. Off that comes. No gasket. Oh, it has got a gasket there, definitely has. I didn't think it did for a minute, but I might double gasket that, see if that does it. Or we'll take carby off. Let's take carby off, quick little clean. Let's just do that. Because I think I'm only kidding myself. So what I'm going to do, just for argument's sake, I'm going to put it back as is, okay? Because otherwise we don't educate ourselves. We don't educate ourselves in a respect, we don't actually know what the problem was, okay? So I'm going to put this on for now, do it up. Now people say don't impact them on and this, that and the other. And ideally, you want it to go on as tight as you can, but without warping the plate. So yeah, I think you're right, don't impact them on. Use a socket or something similar. I've got my steel one here, not steel one I use from a chainsaw somewhere. It's got a little bit of earth tape around, so I can identify it quite quickly in my drawer of many things. Which is not very forthcoming. There it is. Just going to slowly bring that all in together. Now that carby's cleaned. It's got the same gasket as it had on beforehand, so nothing much is different. So was it a carburetor fault? Let's bring it down together nicely, so it all locks in. I'll just kiss it all down together first, so they're all locked down at the same, and then give it one twist each. So that's done. I need to get some petrol in there, because there's no petrol in there now, so it won't prime for a good time if there's no juice in there. So let's get a bit of juice. Fresh petrol, bought yesterday. put enough in for task. That paint's come off there, look. Yeah, it's going to be repainted, this thing is. I'm going to have to repaint the whole lot. Wasn't given any petrol resistance. Hi, Mrs. P. Look, there's my Mrs. P. She don't want to see you. There she is, Mrs. P. What you got there? A present for me? What did you buy me?
I haven't.
What do you mean you haven't? Oh. We got Mountfield belt covers. Woohoo! Tell me you're not excited about that. Right, good. Right, so now, nothing, but I will show you something, okay? Now this might be quite hard for me to show you. Let me grab, I've got some new lights for Christmas. Up here, look, let's just fit one of these on. That wasn't even plugged in. Let's plug that one in. I've got some new lights, little tiny LED Explorer ones. All right, let's plug that onto there. Just gonna hook you up. All right, turn it on. How you turn it up? Brightness. That's it. Right. Okay. So now I've got these little tiny LED lights, which might give you a bit more. Let me zoom you in a smidge. Okay. This is going to be really hard for me to video. Right, I've got you zoomed in, and you're sat between my legs. Right. That's about the best I can do it. Now this is I need my hands free. Right. Priming. Not a bean. Nothing. Now if I apply a bit of pressure to the bottom of this air filter, see how it's moving. Prime it now. Look at that. Right, but it won't do it any other way. So that tells me that plate is actually buckled. But what I'm going to try and do is try and get around that by putting another gasket on it. It could have done with, Briggs, a little tiny screw just there. Right, you put another screw there, Briggs, we're on a winner. But you didn't. So there's a little tip for you, right? So you can tell that just by pushing down, which is forcing the seal on that bottom part of that plate, which is where the primer bulb is, that's where you can tell it actually needs to be. So what you could do, if you're really good, if you really is drilling there, right? Put a drill hole in there. I've got pigeons flying on top of my roof. Put a drill hole in there, right, and force that down. Right, if you could do that, that'll prime all day long. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to leave that gasket on there. That's staying on, right? What I'm now going to do is put another gasket. Now this is called double gasketing. It's just something what we do in the old lawnmower world to try and get around these problems. Chances are this plate's no good. It's warped. Now I have bought new plates, copy and genuine, and they make no difference, baby. It could be the machining of the carburetor, poor quality Wuhan parts. It could be that. But you would like to think, right, by putting another gasket on there, that would force that shut. You would think that. Right? I've tried that before, it didn't work either. But we're now going to try this now, see if this does work. A double gasket. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. Make sure your crankcase breather pipe is on as well, people, because that'd be a fail. See how that primed though? See how it primed lovely? You could just sell it as is. It's just tell a bloke when you go to style it, just push on that bit there a bit. You know, you could do that. But I'm not up for that. I'm a professional, goddammit. Right, now we're going to see what difference it makes. Are you guys in shot? I don't know where you are. You're over there. Right. You're still zoomed in. You're crazy, you lot. Right, I'm going to leave that one be for now. I want to put pressure onto this one in particular, and then this one. Not too much on that one. That's the one I want pressure on. That one there. Briggs, you put a scroll there. You would have sorted this. All right, now we're going to go up. Now I'm doing it up as tight as I can, and not so tight on this one. That can just hold. All right, let's have a look. Nothing. Force it. Primes like an absolute beauty. God. Do you know what? It would be so simple. It's primed a little bit, but nothing. You lift that up, push that down there. primed like an absolute champion. So let's just prove the point, okay? So double gasket did not work, right? Simple as that. That tells me if this box is broken. Now I do have another box. Shall I put another box on it? Let's put another box on it. Right, we're back. Brand firing new doodad. Brand new. Never been used. Straight out of the packet. New gasket. Genuine Briggs and Stratton part. Right. Genuine. So what you could possibly do also is gently sand the top side of that carburettor. Just take a breath off of it, just so it seats down better on the lower side. You could do that, right? I'm just surmising. It shouldn't be that difficult to get a machine to prime. You're pumping air into it, it should go. So brand firing new. This is brand new. This is spending money, people. Right. I'll do it loosey-goosey first. Nada. Go up tight. Nothing. Tip back. In fact, this is a copy. So that's even worse. That ain't doing nothing. I'm getting better results out of the old warp one. So that's brand new. So that's got to tell you, that it's either, one, it's a copy part, it's not genuine, I forgot that, it's not got a metal bit here, or it's the carburettor itself. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it so that when I prime it, it's going to work. Because you can spend all day and all night here doing this, right? Trust me, I know. I've done all day, all night. But I ain't doing that. Give us 2 ticks and I'll be back. Okay. Done nothing to it other than literally just put the other one back on, right? But I haven't put that screwing up there. Okay, let me zoom you in. Right, you're back in between my legs. So sorry about the wobbliness, but I need to have my hands free. It's got to be done. Right, I've done nothing other than put that bolt in there, left that one out over there. Watch that little tube there now. Thumping out. Now, can someone please explain to me the reasoning behind that? Why does that do that? You take it off, you double gasket it, you clean the carburettor, it don't work. You put another one on, it don't work. You put the other one you just had on, it didn't work a minute ago. You screw that in, leave one bolt out, it works. Is it because this one here is forcing that over? I think that's what it is, but that's solid. See that little bolt there? That can go for a burton. Don't need it on there. It's not essential. But now that little tiny carby is priming like an absolute champ. Ooh, yeah, baby. Okie badokie. Done nothing to it other than what you saw on camera. Just wheeled it out. So, onto full throttle. Priming. Pulling. Pull lever. That's how you do it. So there you go, done and done. Not something I've worked on really before, the old walk behind. So I've got another one in my shed somewhere, but I think it's screaming its head off. But it's either the Honda engine on it or it is the bearing, one or the other. I had that last year. I think they come from the same person. So there you go. The mystery behind the Quantum Primer now completely and utterly put to bed and not solved. Doesn't make any sense to me, whatever way you want to put it. I'll put the clean the carby, clean the jet, did all of that. No. Backplate off, double gasket on, screwed it down. No. Put another one on, it was a copy. Put another one on with a genuine gasket. Nah, didn't want to have it. Took it back off. Put the original back on again with a double gasket, primed like an absolute champ, just missing one bolt. That's not an issue. That one bolt is pulling it over. What you could do, and this is my suggestion, is that one bolt at the back, put a little tiny nut just behind it and then do it up so you're forcing that back plate over slightly, so it's forcing a seal on the bottom. It only needs to be sealed on the bottom. Once it does that, it should prime. Maybe I have answered the question, what come first, the chicken or the egg? Possibly. Anyway, if you know what that little lever does on the other side there, I've got no idea. I think it's a height control thing. I'm not quite sure. Leave it a little comment in the comment section below. I'd be much appreciated. That way you then educate me, which is cool. So nice little fix there on the Quantum walk behind. I think it is a DR strimmer. Now all runs, does what it should do. Wants a damn good tidy up. I may bring it back in to have the engine off and give it a complete new lease of life. I might do that. Or I sell it as is, going concern, you know, and the problem is if I sell it like this, it's going to look like an absolute bag of poo. I don't sell bags of poo. I might do a bit of a clear. I might get some nice jet black spray it all up, 2K lacquer it, make it look absolutely lush with a big Mixed Mower sticker on the top. It'll look nuts. If it's the first time you're watching Mixed Mowers and Merman, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. It's completely free to do so, and then you'll be then notified next time I upload another video. Until next time, people, don't forget, more importantly, take it easy.